And welcome back to 23 ABC News at 6, where we are counting down to the Oscars. The awards show now just 2 days away, and controversy continues over the lack of diversity in the nominations. 23 ABC's Kelly Johnson spoke to a Hollywood director and Kern County media experts to get their take on this hot topic. Kelly?
Jackie, for the second year in a row, not a single actor or actress of color was nominated in any of the acting categories. While it doesn't seem like a big deal to some, there are major disparities, especially when it comes to Latinos.
I know that there's still doors that I'm not able to get through right at this moment.
That moment is now. John Urande hails from Bakersfield but has been calling Hollywood home for more than 3 years. After being kicked out of Bakersfield High School, it's a class he took at the continuation school Vista High that changed his life.
He would show you like old films.
Shortly after, he began his career as a writer and director.
Opportunities are missed because you're overlooked, sometimes because, you know, Latino.
Last year, Mexican film director Alejandro G. Iñárritu took home the gold for Best Director. He's also behind Revenant, scoring another nomination in the prestigious category.
This guy is like, you know, just taking film, I mean, right now to a completely different level.
While this inspires Urande, he says there remains a disparity.
I see more Latino diversity kind of behind the camera now rather than in front of the camera. But I think it should be a balance amongst everybody.
This year marks the second year in a row, not a. This came as no surprise to the Bakersfield NAACP chapter president.
That's how the Oscars pretty much have been working for the last, you know, since it's pretty much establishment.
Social media erupted once this year's Oscar nominations were announced with the return of a trending hashtag, #OscarsSoWhite. To some, Chris Rock being named host was just not enough to calm the controversy. Filled radio personalities Snacks and Mary G. And even 23 ABC's story shortly after the nominations were announced sparked heated discussion among Kern County viewers. The lack of diversity led to a boycott, with Spike Lee and Jada Pinkett Smith charging the movement.
Being upset with Will Smith not being nominated,
which I think
boycotting.
That's what really kicked off a lot of the controversy. When is the last time an Hispanic been nominated?
We were even having the debate ourselves, like, well, you know, African Americans haven't won. So then I was like, well, let's Google it. Let's see exactly how many have won and compared to other races.
In 1940, history was made with Hattie McDaniel's portrayal of Mammy in Gone with the Wind. She became the first person of color to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor or Actress.
Creating that equal playing field is so important for everyone to understand that it's just not African American.
In 1964, Sidney Poitier became the first black male to take home the Oscar in the Best Leading Actor category for his role in Lilies of the Field. It would take another 38 years before another black man won again, with Denzel Washington taking home the gold for Training Day. In the Oscars' 88-year history, black men have been nominated 19 times for Best Actor in a Leading Role with 4 wins. This compares to the 8 times Latino men have been nominated with 1 win. This went to Jose Ferrer in 1951 for his role in Cyrano de Bergerac.
Anthony Quinn and all these people that were, and they were big movie stars, but there's nothing like that anymore.
Anthony Quinn remains the only Hispanic to win 2 Oscars in the Supporting Actor category, and that was back in the 1950s.
You would think there would be more diversity, a lot, you know, more of a balance.
To this day, Halle Berry remains the only African-American woman to take home the gold in the Best Leading Actress category, despite African-American women being nominated 10 times. But many in the film industry argue the true discrepancy begins in the writer's room.
It comes up to the writers that are putting pen to paper and creating the films. I mean, it's just, that's what it is. That's
A recent study conducted by the LA Times found that the greater majority of Academy voters are white men. In response to the backlash, the Academy is now working to change its membership guidelines. The Academy has vowed to double its female and ethnic members by 2020. Reporting in studio, Kelly Johnson, 23 ABC.
All right, Kelly, thanks. And you can catch all the Oscar action right here on 23 ABC News this Sunday, starting with our live coverage from Hollywood at 6 a.m. We'll have crews in Hollywood, and we'll bring you special live reports leading up to the ceremony at 5:30. And then don't miss a special edition of 23 ABC News at 11 for reaction from the big night.
It's Oscar week.